You are not poor because the system is unfair. You are not poor because you were born into the wrong family. You are not poor because you didn't have opportunities. These are comfortable excuses you repeat to sleep peacefully at night while your bank account begs for mercy. The brutal truth, the truth that cuts like glass, is this: you are poor because you sabotage yourself every damn day. And the most pathetic part? You don't even realize you're doing it. Let me tell you something that Charlie Munger would say without blinking. Most people don't fail because they lack money. They fail through consistent excess stupidity. And the difference between stupidity and ignorance is simple. Ignorance you correct with information. Stupidity is when you have the information and continue to mess up anyway. You're screwing up anyway. As you read this, you are probably mentally justifying why your situation is different, why you are the exception. It is not. You're exactly like the other 90% who die without ever understanding how money really works. The only difference is that some have the courage to look in the mirror and admit the truth. Will you be one of them? Let's find out. When I was young, I worked at a bank. It wasn't anything glamorous. I processed documents, viewed statements, analyzed patterns. But that was an education that no university could give me. Do you know what I learned? That people are terribly predictable in their financial self-destruction. Every 25th, like a sacred ritual, money arrived. Every day 28, he was already gone. Completely. And the same people, month after month, complained that they couldn't save. Couldn't they? Or did they not want to face the truth about themselves? Financial sabotage is not an event. It's a lifestyle. It's a set of unconscious micro-decisions you make 1,000 times a week, each one too small to seem important. But together, they form the perfect prison. Let me show you how you sabotage yourself, and pay attention because this is going to hurt. First, you spend money to feel better about yourself. Had a bad day? Buy something. Did you have a good day? Buy something to celebrate. Did you have an average day? Buy something because you deserve it. Your primitive brain learned that spending money releases dopamine, so you became a lab rat, pressing the lever over and over again. The difference is that the mouse at least gets food. All you get is debt and a dopamine hit that lasts 15 minutes. Second, you confuse comfort with necessity. Do you really need that Uber, or are you just too lazy to take the bus? Do you really need to order food, or are you just too lazy to cook? Do you really need the streaming plan, or are you just filling the existential void with mediocre content? You've turned convenience into necessity, and every time you do so, you're choosing temporary comfort over permanent freedom. Third, you maintain the habits of a rich person with a poor person's salary. This is the most pathetic of all. You earn 2,000 raise, but live as if you earned 10,000. Install everything, finance everything, divide everything into smooth installments. You don't understand basic mathematics. If you need to pay something in 12 installments, you don't have the money to buy it, full stop. But you buy it anyway because you want the feeling of abundance without doing the work necessary to earn it. Fourth, you are a genius at fooling yourself. Tell a beautiful story in your head. This month was atypical. There was a birthday, there was a car repair, there was that emergency. But every month is atypical. There's always something. Because life is atypical, you idiot. Emergencies happen. Cars break down. People have birthdays. This is not the exception. It is the rule. And you don't prepare because you believe your own lie that next month will be different. Fifth, you invest in garbage and call it an investment. Buy a course for who knows what. Pay for a gym membership you don't use. Sign up for an app you forget. Get involved in a quick money-making scheme. You throw money at anything that promises effortless results. Want to know why? Because deep down you don't want to change. Want a magical solution that transforms your life without you having to transform yourself. I saw people lose everything. Everything, really. Home, family, dignity. And do you know what the standard was? None of them woke up one day and decided to destroy their financial lives. It was erosion. A reel here, 10 there, 100 there. Small betrayals against your future, repeated so many times that they became invisible. You're like a hamster on the wheel. Run, 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 look around and don't move. But unlike the hamster, you have the key to the cage. But instead of using them, you put on nicer sneakers and keep running, because running is familiar. Stopping and thinking hurts too much. Here's something no one tells you. The battle for money is not against the market. It's not against the economy. It's not against the market. O is against the boss. It's against yourself. And you are losing. Every day you wake up and wage a war of attrition against your own psychology. On one side is your future self, that guy you want to be, financially free, secure, calm. On the other side is your present self, that evolutionary primate who wants immediate gratification, social status, and comfort. Guess who wins? The primate. Always. Because your future self is an abstraction. It's a nebulous idea of someday. But the brigadero in the window is real. The colleague's new car is real. The clothes in the store are real. Your brain has been programmed by millions of years of evolution to value now over later. And you, with all your arrogance as a modern human being, think you can overcome this programming with willpower. It cannot. Not alone. Not without a system. But you don't create systems. You rely on motivation. And motivation is like the weather. It changes depending on the day. Monday, you are determined. Wednesday is already just this once. Saturday already forgot that he had determination. Let me tell you about snowballing. No, it's not a cute metaphor for growth. It's a metaphor about momentum. A small snowball rolling down a hill doesn't look very impressive at first, but with each rotation, it accumulates more snow. It gets bigger, heavier, faster. Eventually, it turns into an avalanche. Your debts are snowballing. Your bad habits snowball. Your constant sabotage is snowballing. And it's rolling down the hill, getting bigger every day, while you look to the side and pretend you don't see it. But do you know what else is a snowball? Consistent investments, real financial education, smart decisions repeated over time. The difference is the direction. You can have an avalanche working for you or against you. And right now, be brutally honest. Which direction is yours? You're a beast of burden. You carry the weight of your bad choices every day. He woke up early to work and pay the bill for the card he used to buy things he doesn't remember. You are a modern slave, but the slave master is yourself. What a pathetic irony. When I was in my early 20s, I met a man who completely changed my relationship with money. He was not rich in inheritance. He didn't win the lottery, no luck. He was a retired accountant who lived in a simple house, drove a 15-year-old car, and had more money invested than most of the successful people I knew. One day I asked him what the secret was. He looked at me with that look experienced people get when they're about to tell you something you don't want to hear. "There's no secret," he said. "There's just one question you need to ask before you spend any penny. Does it bring me closer to freedom or further away?" Just like that. Brutal like that. He told me that for 40 years, before any purchase, any expense, any financial decision, he asked this question. And the answer was always obvious. Always. The problem is that most people don't want the answer. He wants an excuse. But I work hard. I deserve it. Do you deserve it, or are you compensating for it? But everyone does. So what? Everyone else is broke too. But it's only once. It is not. It's never just once. He told me about coworkers who made the same as him. Some earned even more. Where are they today? Working because they have to, not because they want to. Stuck in jobs they hate because they need their paycheck by the last day of the month. Dependents on children in old age. Bitter, asking where the money went. The money hasn't gone away, he said. They sent him away, actively, every day, with every stupid decision disguised as getting along. That was more than 20 years ago. The old man is dead now. He left a fortune to his grandchildren. Not because he earned a lot, but because he spent little and consistently invested what was left. Do you want to know what a real tragedy is? It's not dying poor. It's dying knowing that you had everything you needed to become rich and you chose not to. It's dying with the certainty that your poverty was a choice, not a destiny. And you are choosing, right now. With every justification he invents, with every just this once he allows himself, with every decision he makes based on emotion instead of mathematics. There is a magical moment that most people never experience. It's the moment when you look at your investment account and realize that the money you made without working is greater than the money you made working. It's the inflection point. That's when the snowball finally got big enough to roll on its own. That's when you stop being a beast of burden and become master of the game. But this moment does not happen by luck. It happens by relentless mathematics. It happens because you stopped sabotaging yourself long enough for compound interest to do its work. Let me explain to you. J-Euro compounded in a way that might penetrate your thick head. It is the only real magic that exists in the financial universe. It's literally your money-making kids, and those kids making more kids, and eventually you have an entire dynasty working for you in your sleep. But, and this is a giant but, it only works if you feed it to the machine, consistently. Without interruption, no breaks, no emergencies that are actually just desires in disguise. Do you know how much you need to get started? Less than you spend on nonsense per month. Much less. You could start today with 100 raise, with 50, with anything. But it doesn't start because it's waiting for the perfect moment. Newsflash, there is no perfect time. It only exists today or never. When I really started investing, I had almost nothing. He set aside 10% of his salary religiously. It didn't matter what happened. Marriage, birth of child, broken car, emergencies real and imagined. 10% always went to investments first. The early years? Pathetic. He looked at the balance and laughed at its insignificance. But I continued. Because I understood something fundamental. I wasn't building wealth in the early years. I was building the habit. I was training my psychology. I was becoming the type of person who invests, not the type who has good intentions. After 5 years, I started to see real movement. After 10, the money started working. After 15, he worked more than me. Today, I could stop and I would be fine. I'm not going to stop because I like what I do, but I could. And that word, could, is worth more than any car, any clothes, any crap you're financing right now. The turning point is not when you become rich. That's when you stop being a slave. That's when no becomes a word you can say. No, I will not accept this degrading job. No, I will not tolerate this abusive boss. No, I'm not going to work until I die. But you don't get there by spending everything you earn. You don't get there with endless installments. You don't get there by being who you are now. The math of wealth is so simple it's insulting. Make money, spend less than you earn, invest the difference, don't touch it, repeat until you die or become rich. That's all. There's no trick. There's no shortcut. There's no secret hack. It's boring, it's repetitive, it's completely obvious, and still 90% fail. Do you know why? Because simple doesn't mean easy. Simple is the instruction. Easy is the execution. And executing this simple formula requires you to go against everything your brain wants to do. It requires you to be rational when everyone around you is emotional. It requires you to be patient when the culture screams, have it now. It requires you to be discreet when everyone wants to show up. Do you see that guy with a financed car, branded clothes, always in the right places? He is poorer today than he was last month. Do you see that other guy with the old car, simple clothes, never showing anything off? He is richer today than he was last month. In 10 years, the first one will still be financing cars. The second will be deciding whether to work or not. The difference is not the salary, it's psychology. It's the ability to delay gratification. It's the emotional maturity of separating I want from I need. It is the humility of admitting that you are not special enough to violate the laws of mathematics. But here's the problem. You think you understand. You're reading this and nodding your head. Yes, that makes sense. And it won't change anything at all. Why? Because understanding intellectually is not the same as changing behaviorally. Your intellect understands. Your psychology doesn't care. And at the right time, when you're stressed, when you want to feel better, when you want to impress someone, who wins? Psychology. Always. The most insidious part of financial self-sabotage is that it is invisible to you. You're so immersed in your own patterns that you can't even see them anymore. It's like asking a fish to describe water. You rationalize. This cup of coffee doesn't make any difference. It doesn't. But the 60 cups of coffee a month do the trick. This promotion was really good. He was. But you didn't need any of that. Everyone does it like that. He does, and everyone is equally broken. Each justification is a brick in the wall of your financial prison. And you lay brick after brick proud of your work, without realizing you're on the wrong side of the wall. I saw people get 30, 40% raises and still be broke. The money came in, expenses increased accordingly, bigger apartment, better car, more expensive restaurants. Income rose, but freedom remained exactly where it was. Zero. This has a name. It's called lifestyle inflation. It's a disease, and you have. Everyone has it. The question is whether you will treat it or let it slowly kill you. When your salary increases, you have a choice. Increase your standard of living or increase your investment rate. One option gives you temporary pleasure and permanent slavery. The other gives you temporary discomfort and permanent freedom. Guess which one you choose? The same one you chose your whole life, the one that looks good now and screws you later. You use the word deserve as a weapon against your own future. I deserve this. I work hard. I deserve to do well. I deserve to live a little. Let me tell you something about deserving. The universe doesn't care what you think you deserve. The market doesn't care. The bills at the end of the month don't matter. The only thing that matters is math. You can deserve everything. You can be the hardest working, most dedicated, most honest person on the planet. And you'll still die poor if you don't understand how money works. Deservingness is an emotional narrative you tell yourself to justify poor financial decisions. It's a fairy tale that adults use when they want to act like children. Children see chocolate, want chocolate, cry until they get chocolate. You see something you want, you invent something you deserve, you buy it using credit you don't have. The only difference is that no one is giving you an allowance to cover the mess. When I was young, I thought I deserved a lot of things. I deserved a better car, a better apartment, a better vacation. Do you know what I did with this conviction of deserving? I almost sunk into debt. What saved me was realizing something brutal. The universe doesn't owe me anything. Every dollar I want, I need to earn or create. Every luxury I want, I need to pay for. Not with credit, not with installments, not with promises, with real money that I have on hand. This realization was liberating and humbling at the same time. Liberating because I stopped waiting for the world to give me what I deserved. Humiliating because I had to admit that my sense of worth was completely disconnected from reality. Every time you spend money, you are making a choice. Not just about what to buy, but about who you will be in 10 years. That Uber you took instead of taking the bus, it didn't cost 20 reais. It cost 20 reais today plus what those 20 reais would yield invested over the next 30 years. Considering a conservative average return, you just spent something around 200 reais of future money. That outfit you paid in 10 installments, it didn't cost 300 reais. It cost 300 plus interest plus the opportunity cost of not having invested that, plus the psychological cost of having another installment every month, plus the cost of having less room for maneuver when something really important comes up. You don't do these calculations. Nobody does. It's too uncomfortable. It's much easier to just look at the number today and ignore the real cost. But the real cost doesn't go away because you ignored it. It accumulates, silently, month after month, year after year, until you wake up at 50 and realize you've spent a fortune on things you don't remember and have nothing to show for it but debt and regret. Every purchase is a vote on the kind of future you want, and you are voting consistently for poverty. Not because it's malicious, but because he is too short-sighted, impulsive, and cowardly to face the truth. You think you control your money. It doesn't control. Your money controls you. If you need to work to pay bills, you are not in control. If you can't say no to the boss, you're not in control. If a $3,000 emergency would destroy you financially, you are not in control. You're controlled by the need for constant money. He is a drug addict and money is his drug. You need the next dose every month just to maintain the status quo. And like any addict, you do degrading things for the next fix. Swallow pride, accepts abuse, tolerates disrespect. All because there is no option. Because he spent it all. Because it didn't build a margin. Because he sabotaged his own freedom over and over again. Financial freedom is not about having a lot of money. It's about having enough money working for you that you can choose. Choose where to work. Choose who to work with. Choose whether you want to work. But choice requires margin, and margin requires discipline. And discipline requires that you stop sabotaging yourself. You're not going to do that, are you? Statistically, you'll read this far, agree with everything, feel a momentary impetus for change, and tomorrow you'll be doing exactly the same shit you've always done. Why? Because changing hurts. It requires you to admit you were wrong. It requires you to give up things you enjoy. It requires you to be different from everyone around you, and you're too cowardly for that. So here's the final truth. Without flourish, without kindness, you will die poor, not because the system is unfair, not because there is a lack of opportunities, not because you were unlucky. You will die poor because you actively choose every day, sabotage yourself. Every dollar you spend without thinking is a vote for poverty. Every share you take is a vote for slavery. Every justification you invent is a vote for failure. And the worst? You know that. Deep down, you always knew. But it's more comfortable to feign ignorance than to have the courage to change. There is an alternative version of your life, one where you stopped fooling yourself, where you made the hard choices, where you prioritized freedom over momentary comfort. In this version, you're fine. You sleep peacefully. You have options. But this version requires one thing, that you stop being who you are now. You need to stop being the guy who justifies, the guy who deserves it, the guy who will start next time. He needs to become the guy who does it, the guy who executes, the guy who prioritizes long-term consequences over immediate gratification. Can you do it, honestly? Or will you continue to be one more in the statistics of those who understood but did not apply it? The answer will determine everything, not just your financial situation, but your dignity, your freedom, your peace of mind for the next 30, 40 years. You have two options from here. Option one, close it, feel motivated for half an hour, go back to your usual routine, and 10 years from now, you'll be in the same place or worse, wondering where you went wrong. Spoiler, you already know where you went wrong. He was wrong in not having the courage to change when he had the chance. Option two, you do something radically different. Today, now. Open the account, really look at the numbers, face the mess you created, and start fixing it. Not tomorrow, not Monday, now. Because here's what no one tells you. You don't need more information. You don't need any more motivation. You don't need more courses, more books, more videos. You already know what to do. I always knew. You just need courage to do it. So the real question, the only one that matters, is this. Do you have the courage? Or will you continue to be another person who knew exactly what he needed to do and chose not to do it? Another one who wasted his own potential because it was easier to blame the system than to fix himself? Your financial life won't change because you watch this. It will change if you act. And action is not thinking about acting. It is not planning to act. It's taking action, specifically, today. Otherwise, you are exactly what this video described. And it hurts to admit it, but you deserve the poverty you are creating. Not because he's a bad person, but because you consciously choose every day to sabotage your own future. The choice is yours. It always was. And when you're old, looking back, wondering how things could have been different, remember this moment. Remember you knew. Remember you had the chance. Remember that you chose to do nothing, or prove me wrong. Do something. Anything. Get started today. Because at the end of the day, no one will save you. Not me, not any motivational video, not the system, not the government, not luck. Only you can save you. And will you?